that won't do it all. Hi, today I'll be doing JennaStreety's Authortube Newbie Tag 2.0 questions. I'll link the original video down below. Check out her channel. She's really cool, really funny. Hi, Jenna. Today I'll be doing the questions in a bit of a different order since I have my own personal flow and I thought it would work better for me if I did it that way. So let's get started. Gain confidence. I'd also like to express myself with more people during this quarantine time. I've been a stay-at-home wife for almost a year now because of my autoimmune disorders. My husband doesn't want me to get sick with COVID, and that's really cut out my social life. So I'd like to be able to express myself with people and get to know people more while still staying safe at home. I also have a lot of opinions about things that you guys might find fun or entertaining or useful. Since we're all kind of stuck at home other than our necessary jobs, I figured what a better way and time to start trying to help other people out and myself. I also like to share stories, but that may not entirely fall under the category of Authortube, but what are we all if not creators, writers, storytellers? We need stories to get through these tough times, and I like to tell them. So I'll be having a couple of shows or playlists that you guys can watch that aren't me talking about my writing. I'll tell you some scary stories, if that's what you want. Who am I kidding? I'm going to do it anyway because I love telling scary stories, and I have a lot of paranormal experiences that a lot of people might find enjoyable. So I will be doing Authortube content and some storytelling content. And of course, to fangirl about my own works, my characters, my stories, because I love them so much and I just want to gush. And I can't hand out the book yet, and this is the only way I know how I can talk about the people that I love and spend most of my time with in my brain. Detailed descriptions of my own writing process. I am not a teacher. I haven't taken any schooling for a long time, but I did take 5 years of college creative writing, and I've been writing all my life. So I have a lot of things that I do for myself that in expressing how I do things might give some of you an idea of how you might better be able to do things. Or you might find something that I do that you like that you can apply to your own writing process. But I'm not going to be sharing so much tips as tales and examples of my own works and my own processes so that you get the gist. There's already a lot of people out there that do tips, and I don't think I'm the best person to be adding to that pool. There's already so much to look for out in Authortube. Just type in what you're looking for and you'll find it. My channel is going to be a bit more personal, a bit more focused on my adventures in the writing world and the creative world in general, and I'm really excited for you all to come on this adventure with me. I'm going to be sharing a lot about world building and creature building and story setup for writers as well as tabletop gamers like Dungeons and Dragons, because I've been an avid gamer all my life. I run my own campaigns and I have been told a lot that I am really good at it. So hopefully me sharing my gaming experience can not only help you with your gaming but also with your writing, because I really don't see the difference between writing and gaming if you decide to put them together, which I do. I also want to put out some motivational videos for some people that might be lacking in social networks or support. I practice a lot of meditation, and I know how it hurts whenever a character you're writing needs to die, or you're just not feeling motivated that day, or no one's been giving you any praise. So I want to make some videos tailored to help you guys get back on the writing horse and feel like someone cares, because I do care. I care a lot. And I'm excited to be here with you, and I want to help you get through this journey along with my own journey, because what's a more fun journey than going along a scary dark path together? Now, the one thing that I might be sharing some tips on is horror, how to set up horror themes, how to set up different horror techniques, and how to make vampires, because the thing that I love the most is vampires. I have always loved vampires. Pretty sure my first word was Dracula. Vampires are my specialty. I love them so much. Still getting used to looking at the camera over here instead of my face. You guys are right there. Hello. I also want to put out a little bit more relaxed content like vlogs, writing updates, ask me's, etc. But those won't really be scheduled. I'll just put them out whenever something interesting happens in my life. So that'll be more relaxed content. I do want to do them. I like to do things like camping and hiking, and I want to get used to going out in public by myself more, and the best way for me to really do that is to take you guys along with me. So not only will you be going on a writing adventure with me, you also might be going on some other adventures with me. I also plan on putting out a series very soon called I Was Raised in a Haunted House. It's going to be a series of true paranormal stories from my life and the lives of my family. I might do more series after that, but I want to focus on I Was Raised on a Haunted House first, because it's really good. I had a lot of experiences in that house, and I would like to share them with you. I'll be doing I Was Raised in a Haunted House videos and writing videos back and forth so that we get an equal amount of content. I'll also leave openings for future creative content, because my writing weaves into every creative aspect of my life. I'm not just a writer. I'm a painter. I'm a gamer. I'm a jewelry maker. I'm a costumer. I'm a singer. So everything I do meshes together at times, and I don't want to bottle myself in with what I can and can't create on this channel. If I want to make a scary short film, I'm going to make a scary short film. If I want to show off some time-lapsed art, I'm going to do some time-lapsed art. I'm not just here to write. Writing is just what I hope to someday make money on. But I live and breathe creation. And that's what this channel will be for. So I'm not going to bottle myself into an idea of what I should and shouldn't post. But I will let you guys know when I'm going to be doing something new. So you shouldn't be surprised by that. My husband hit a dirty word in my script. Let's mark that one as done. The audience I write for is adult. Now, I don't write porn or erotica. Well, I do, but I keep that secret. I like to dive into more metaphorical or direct concepts of trauma and how our lives can affect the people we become. So sometimes that can get pretty heavy with like gore, violence, assault, drug use. So a lot of my works aren't for anyone under 18, but luckily I do put out warnings in everything that I write so that people know exactly what they're getting into. I did used to write some YA, but now that I've grown up and faced some more traumatic events myself, I find that I can't really get into that anymore. So most of what I write is going to be horror-based. A lot of the horror is based in real-life stuff that's hidden by fantasy, and not for younger viewers. That's not to say that there won't be sex in it, but it's not going to be explicit. It'll be more violent and dealing with the consequences of things. I like a lot of consequences. The types of things I like to write is I love writing novel series. I've been writing novels for my entire life. I also like to dip into books of short stories, but I will compile them into a novel-sized book. And sometimes when I'm drunk, I will write sappy poems that I post on the internet. My one true genre love is horror. It's always been horror. It will always be horror. But I do like to sprinkle it in with some dark fantasy, sometimes some sci-fi, but everything I write will have an aspect of the dark, the macabre, the scary, or the unusual. So, if you don't like that, sorry, not sorry. I'm a scary, spooky person. Really everything I do is held together by the glue of terror and horror. I don't even have real dreams. I dream in nightmares, and I watch horror movies to feel better when I'm sad. If you're wondering why my eyes look so glazed over, it's because I can barely see without my glasses, and as you saw earlier, we got some heavy animu glare going on here. I do have some tropes, I guess things that I do constantly. Most of the things that I have are vampires, mermaids, ghosts. They tend to pop up pretty regularly. Vampires most common, of course. Mermaids least common, ghosts are in the middle. I loved vampires before, during, and after they were cool, okay? I don't know yet. I haven't done that research in a long time, and I know the publishing world changes rapidly. So once I get closer to that point, I will decide. I might end up doing a bit of both in the sense that I'll try one and then the other, but if I do that, I will try traditional publishing first, just so that it doesn't look bad that I self-published and then I'm trying to get a company to publish it. But really, I want to do what will succeed. I want to see my book out there. I don't really care how or why. I just want it real for people to buy. And if that is best suited for one or the other, I will do that. Now, I don't want to publish right away. Since Misty Falls, the series that I'm working on right now, is so vast, I want to get at least 5 books in so that I can get some good edits and make sure that I don't have the Rowling effect where you can tell she made stuff up while she wrote it. I don't want to do that. So I want to make sure that I at least have a foundation for the series down and good, and a foreshadowing can be done properly before I start looking into the actual putting it out there process. So don't worry, I've already written three Misty Falls novels, and book 1 is in the editing process with my writing team. So it's not going to be that hard. As I said, I stay at home. I don't work. My husband's really good to me. So I have all the time in the world to write whenever I'm not sick. Now in the past, I have self-published. This is going to be backwards. It looks backwards, but you get the gist. I wrote it with a friend in college. You can find it on Amazon, but please don't. It's not that great. But I'm still kind of proud of it. I did the illustrations. You saw in my first video that I do illustrations. Ooh, that's inappropriate. Not for YouTube. Yeah. Here's one. Nice sugar skull. I also published a book with a very small local publishing company when I got out of high school, but I gave that book to my mom, so I don't have a copy to show you. It was a book of short stories about vampires. It was probably best to keep as a learning experience and not something that I give to the world. I hate book pitches. Misty Falls Book 1, Paradox. Tasked with figuring out why the residents of Misty Falls are going missing at an alarming rate, new detective Lucy Shaw must face a lack of funding, a lax team, a slew of evidence, and a strange cast of suspects. Could there be vampires? You guess. She's running. I wrote this last weekend. I haven't slept. You're gonna love it. My dad is also an author, and when I was a kid, like really little, he let me help write it. It's a fatty. It really helped me feel like I was a part of something important, and it really fueled a love for novels, writing in general, character creation, story creation, and being a part of such a wonderful process. I think that was my roommate. Sorry if there's any weird background noises. I do not live alone, and I can't tell them to not go to the bathroom. My mom has also been very supportive of all of my creative endeavors. When I was a kid, I used to like to make books, and she would help me produce them, staple them together. Here's one about sunrise. One I wrote with my brother called The Tornado. Tiny one about unicorns. You know, she was very supportive. I even wrote my own series when I was a kid called Jodi's Great Adventures. That was basically a self-insert of me going through the Lord of the Rings story. This is number 2. My mom has the first one, which is infinitely the best, of course. But I believe it ended up having like 5 or 6 installments, which for a 5-year-old is a lot. Because I wrote this before I started school. Got some werewolves, which is basically just vampires with a furry texture. My elementary school was also very supportive. I was a part of the Young Writers Conference for many years. This is the last one. I won a contest with the little writing thing for my story called Mermaids. I even drew a little illustration, because you know I love those. I keep these because I'm still proud of my younger self. So proud. So remember, if you ever see a talented kid, be supportive and be kind, because you could end up being the thing or the person that changes their world. And in turn, the world. Children are important. I write a lot of words in the middle of the night. No, actually, it's not that. It's writing multiple POVs, lots of character point of views. I like having a thick and full cast of different kinds of characters that you get to follow along with, and the more you get into their head, the better. So I do a lot of switching between characters and chapters that I feel I have learned to do very well, and it's like my thing, my writing style, if you will. Fan fiction. I have way too much original content to be putting my time and effort into fan fiction. While there's nothing wrong with fan fiction, it's just not something I personally have time for. We're all gonna die someday. We got a finite amount of time. I gotta write these book series. I've got at least 3 series planned, and the first series has at least 15 books planned. So, I gotta get on the ball. Whatever you want to write, just write it. Want to try smutty romance? Do it. Want to write a true story from your life? Go for it. Want to write a poem about how cute anime girls make you feel down in your toes? Write it. Just write it. You can never go wrong with putting your thoughts down on the page. It's important because we're all gonna die someday, and this is the only way we can leave a piece of our hearts behind. But don't expect other people to care about it as much as you. That you can't control that. But as long as you write from your heart, then you're gonna want to write more. You're gonna want to write more fulfilling content, and you're gonna get better as a writer because you're writing from your heart and writing more. Everyone has to start somewhere. Everyone writes something embarrassing that they don't want people to read, like my college book that I showed you. But it's important to start, and it's important to care. Don't try to follow trends. Follow your heart. Yes, all of the above. Quarantine has killed my social life. Say hey in the comments. I am already beta reading for a friend on Instagram. If you'd like to follow them, their name is Rye Loves Fantasy. Hi, Rye. But in the future, I would love to help more people beta read. I'd love to find people who want to beta read my things, critique partners, people that I can work with so we can all make our stuff the best it can be. I'm excited to gain a bit more confidence because I used to be a very confident person. As I've mentioned, I used to do a lot of horror acting, but in the last 4 years or so, my mental health has really declined, my physical health has really declined, and I'd like to start climbing that mountain again and get a little bit of self-love going on. And that starts with meeting really nice people and making social connections and feeling like I am putting myself out there in a positive way, helping people, helping myself, and feeling like I'm not isolated in this new quarantine life, even though it's really not that new. It's been going on a year, but what is 1 year to 30? What is the capital of Assyria? It's Nineveh. No. I guess I don't really know anyone yet, so I don't really know what to ask. How's everyone doing? Let me know down in the comments what you think of the current Authortube temperature, as it were, and hopefully I'll get to know some of you and get to know the social etiquette, as it were, and see how things are going. But as it is, does anyone mind that I'm going to be putting out a series, the series, I Was Raised in a Haunted House? It's not technically Authortube, but hopefully it'll be enjoyable. That's it for all the Authortube Newbie Tag questions. I plan on posting on this channel every 2 weeks on Saturdays. Comment below if there's a time that would be best for you, and I'll see if there's a general consensus. I'm usually awake at night, in bed by like 3 p.m., but I can schedule things to come out if that's what you guys end up wanting. That being said, I do struggle with an autoimmune disorder, so sometimes I get very sick. In those hopefully more rare occasions, I will still try to upload on time, but I'll do less scripted works like vlogs or writing updates, just so that I can keep content getting out there, but still take care of my health as well. It's so great to be here with you on YouTube. I've been really excited to do this for a while. I'm really excited to go into 2021 with you guys, and hopefully I can offer you a little bit of escapism from whatever horrors we might be facing out in the real world with some fun, safe horrors here on the internet. One of my more random hobbies is researching totally obscure things that have nothing to do with what I'm writing about. I'd like to end my videos with something fun that I've found so that you guys can learn, because knowledge is power. Sometimes I find funny things, and sometimes I find scary things, and sometimes I find things that are just a little disturbing, like this one. On November 25th, 2009, 26-year-old John Jones went caving with his family in the Nutty Putty Cave in Utah. He wriggled himself into a tiny, unmarked tunnel that he just kept going down. Eventually, it got so tight that the rocks were hooking underneath his rib cage, so he could not back out. And he actually ended up dying upside down with the rocks still pinned underneath his rib cage. People couldn't get him out because it was so tight around his ribs. I'm very claustrophobic. That's horrifying. I learned this from fellow YouTuber MrBallen. I learned this tidbit of information from MrBallen's top 3 photos with disturbing backstories part 6 video. I'll link that down below. He's a great storyteller, and he really inspired me to start my channel. So thank you, MrBallen. I wanted my first fact to be from you. Comment below if you've learned anything strange or scary lately so that I can in turn learn from you. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. And if you want to see more content from me, be sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye! You want to see one of the best things about my city at night? Here, come with me.